So, I have always been close to my younger sister, Sophie. We've been through a lot together. Our parents divorced when we were teens, and I basically helped raise her while mom worked nights. I've always been her second mom, which will be important later. Anyway, Sophie got engaged to her fiancé, Matt, a few months ago. Everyone's thrilled. Except the thing is, I was supposed to marry Matt. Let me explain before you throw your phones. Matt and I dated for 3 years. We broke up about 2 years ago because I found out he cheated, but I never found out with who. Sophie was my shoulder to cry on during that breakup. She'd tell me I deserved better, that Matt was trash, etc. Fast forward. 6 months ago she announces she's engaged. To Matt. My example. Apparently they reconnected at a friend's party and didn't expect to fall in love. My parents were uncomfortable but decided to support love. I was nauseous for a week straight. Still, I tried to be civil. I even told her I'd contribute to the wedding fund, about $5,000, because I wanted to take the high road and be done with it. Then last month, Sophie had her bridal shower. Cute, day, whatever. But her best friend, who was drunk, let it slip that Sophie and Matt had been seeing each other before he and I broke up. As in, the entire time I was crying on her shoulder, she was sneaking off to him. I confronted Sophie privately afterward, and she didn't even deny it. She said, "We didn't mean to fall in love, it just happened." She tried to justify it by saying, "You and Matt weren't right for each other anyway." I went home, canceled the check I'd written to her, and texted her this. "I'm glad you're marrying your soulmate, but you can pay for your own fairy tale." Now she's furious, saying I made a promise and am punishing her for being happy. My mom's on her side, because family is forever. But my dad, who actually knows what betrayal feels like, told me to keep my money. Now half my family thinks I'm bitter and vindictive, and the other half thinks I should have cut her off entirely. Sophie even posted some vague Instagram story like, "People who can't let go of the past don't deserve a future at my wedding."
So I go to a public high school and I'm a junior in AP Chemistry. My teacher, Miss Hill, is super strict. The type who loves to teach life lessons almost as much as actual chemistry. Anyway, last month, I got caught up in a mess that kind of blew up bigger than I meant it to. We had this big lab project worth like 30% of our grade. My lab partner flaked on me completely. I stayed up until 2 a.m., finishing our report alone. The next day, when we turned it in, Ms. Hill accused me of plagiarism because she said the writing sounded too advanced for a high school student. I tried to explain that I'd worked hard, but she laughed, literally laughed, and said in front of the whole class, "If you spent half as much time studying as you do trying to cheat, maybe you'd actually pass this class." Everyone laughed. I wanted to disappear. That night, I went home fuming and told my mom. My mom's an English professor. She read my lab report and said there was zero chance it was plagiarized. It was just well written. So she emailed the school demanding Ms. Hill either show proof or retract her accusation. Instead of apologizing, Ms. Hill doubled down. She gave me a 0 and told me she was setting an example. So my mom escalated it to the vice principal. They ran my report through Turnitin. Guess what? 0% match. Clean. Here's where things spiral. My mom asked for a meeting with the principal and district representative. During the meeting, Ms. Hill admitted she hadn't actually checked for plagiarism. She said she just knew. The rep looked horrified. A week later, Ms. Hill was put on administrative leave pending professional conduct review. Now half the students are calling me a snitch. They say I ruined the only teacher who actually cares. Some people even made a TikTok calling me the kid who got Ms. Hill fired. Ms. Hill emailed me privately, before her school email got deactivated, saying she hopes I'm proud of myself for destroying her reputation over one bad day. So now I feel kind of sick about it. I didn't want her fired. I just wanted her to admit she was wrong.
So this was near the end of junior year, the point in the semester where everyone's mentally checked out, but the teachers are still pretending grades matter. I went to this boring suburban high school that had one of those closed campus policies. You couldn't even step into the parking lot without a hall pass, like you were breaking out of prison. Anyway, my best friend Jake had just gotten his license and this ancient silver Honda Civic that sounded like a lawnmower when it hit 50 miles per hour. It was one of those perfect May days, like 83 degrees, cloudless, the kind of weather that physically hurts to waste sitting through pre-calc. Jake texts me during second period. "Water park opens today. Let's make bad decisions." I stare at the message for a full minute, thinking about my GPA, my mom, and the smell of sunscreen. Then I type, block quote, "Give me 30 minutes. We recruited 2 other friends, Maya and Chris, and by third period, we had a plan. The gym hallway had an old emergency door that didn't set off alarms if you shoved it open just right. The key was timing it between classes when the hallway cameras looped. We learned this from a senior 2 years ago who used it to sneak out from McDonald's. We meet at lunch, pretending to head to the library. Jake texts, "I'm parked by the dumpsters. Go." I'm shaking, like I'm about to commit a federal crime. We push open the door. It sticks for a second. Then, click. Sunshine hits my face. We bolt like we're escaping Shawshank. 10 minutes later, we're speeding down the highway with the windows down and Mr. Brightside blasting through Jake's terrible car speakers. For the first time in weeks, nobody's stressed about finals, SATs, or college essays. We're just 4 idiots in flip-flops, chasing freedom. We pull into the water park. It's almost empty because it's a weekday. We get a family-sized locker, stuff our backpacks inside, and sprint toward the slides. It's everything we dreamed of. No lines, the smell of chlorine, and that one lifeguard who clearly hates her job. We spend 5 hours there, ate soggy pizza, went down the giant tube slide 17 times, and convinced ourselves we were living our best teenage lives. Then, Jake does the one thing you should never do during a crime. He posts a photo. Caption, "Senior skip day came early. Within 45 minutes, we're trending on local snap maps. And guess who follows Jake? The vice principal. We didn't even realize we were caught until around 2:30, when Maya's phone starts exploding. First, her mom, "Where are you?" Then, a message from the school attendance line. "You have been marked absent in all classes. Please contact the main office immediately." We look at each other, like 4 raccoons caught raiding a trash can. Jake says, "We could still make it back before the buses leave." So picture this. Four sunburned teenagers, dripping in chlorine, sprinting back through the gym door, trying to act normal. Except I forgot that wet swim trunks squeak when you walk. The janitor just stares at us, doesn't even say anything, just slowly shakes his head. When we open our lockers, the assistant principal is standing right there, like a final boss. He just goes, "Have a nice day at the pool?" We got suspended for 1 day, in school, had to write apology letters, and our parents were furious. My mom grounded me for a week, but I think she was secretly proud. Jake's mom actually framed the letter he wrote, because it started with, "In retrospect, chlorine is not a substitute for chemistry class." The best part? That stupid water park photo got 400 likes, more than any of us had ever gotten on a post. Totally worth it.
So, I have been dating my boyfriend Liam for 3 years. Things have been good. He's charming, funny, and we live together. For the past few months, though, I noticed he was getting super close with one of his coworkers, Ella. He swore they were just friends, and I tried to believe him because I didn't want to be that girlfriend. Then, one night while he was in the shower, his phone lit up with a text from her that said, "I can't believe you're really going through with it. Tomorrow." My heart hurts. Naturally, I checked. Yeah, I know, not proud. Their messages were like a novel, paragraphs about how they connect on a deeper level, and how she wishes things were different. But also, he wasn't physically cheating. No nudes, no meetups outside work. Just a full-blown emotional affair that he apparently didn't think counted. Here's where it gets insane. The next day, Liam tells me to dress up for dinner because he has a surprise. I'm already sick to my stomach, but decide to go. We get to this restaurant. His family, my family, and a literal photographer are there. Yep, he's proposing. He starts this long speech about honesty, connection, and soulmates. I see red. So when he kneels, I stop him and say, "Before you ask, maybe tell everyone about your emotional soulmate, Ella." Dead. Silence. His mom gasps. My mom grabs her pearls like it's a movie. The photographer just slowly lowers the camera. Liam stammers that I'm misunderstanding everything. So I pull out my phone and read 3 of the texts out loud. His dad actually says, "Son, what the hell?" He storms out. The family scatter and the restaurant comp my meal because apparently public heartbreak gets you free tiramisu. Later that night, Liam blew up my phone saying I humiliated him and destroyed his life over something that wasn't physical. Half our mutual friends think I went too far doing it in public instead of talking privately. Others think he deserved every ounce of it. Now I'm wondering, Eita for exposing him during what was supposed to be his big proposal moment?